I'm pointing at you. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking hell.
It's fucking low.
Fucking hell. Newcastle Fans TV. Right, hello everybody, welcome back to NFTV. I'm joined by one of our newest members, Harry, and we're going to be talking about 4 players who are out on loan. Do we keep them? Do we sell them? Harry, let's crack on with it. Freddie Woodman. He's had a fantastic season at Swansea. What do you do with him now with the goalkeeping situation?
Definitely got to keep him for me. Whether that's keep him with a view as a backup for Martin Dubravka this season, there's a lot of debate. There'll be a lot of debate over the goalkeeping situation, whether we keep Dubravka or give Darlow another go. I want to keep Dubravka for me. Woodman's the long-term goal, because Dubravka, he's a class keeper, and keepers do well as they get older, but he's getting on a bit for me. But I'd like to see him given another season, so whether Woodman has another loan spell.
Is that what you would do, loan him again?
I think so, but I'd try and get him to a Premier League club, to be honest. I reckon there might be some interest if a loan to a Premier League club. If not, probably another year at Swansea, and then I like to see him in the first team.
It's one of them, isn't it? You don't want to do Fraser Forster, do you? You don't want them go out and risk it. I know Forster's obviously declined massively the last few years, but it's an interesting one of the goalkeeping situation, because Gillespie's going to be number 3 regardless, and it's a case of what do you do with Darlow. If Darlow goes, then great, there's Woodman as second choice. I think Dubravka isn't going to be moved. Well, let's begin with Sam's favourite man, which is Florian Lejeune, who's had a fantastic season out in La Liga. Got man the match against Barcelona, Messi, in Team of the Year as well. And we've got a situation at centre-backs at the minute, Harry, where you've got a lot of people uncertain with the futures, with Fernandes, even possibly even Clark. So what do you do with Lejeune? What does Bruce do as well? Does Bruce get rid of him, get some money? But what would you do with him as well?
So yeah, personally I would keep him 100%. I think, I'm not sure if Fernandes is going to stay, because it's getting on a bit and his contract's up. I would sell Clark to facilitate Lejeune coming back, but I think Steve Bruce is going to sell him, to be honest. He didn't really have a good spell in his first season under Bruce. Brought back from injury. You remember that performance against Leicester at home and Man United away. He was shocking. And being shipped out on loan season after, it doesn't look promising for a future under Bruce for Lejeune. So I reckon he's going to be sold, but personally I would keep him.
Is he the best centre-back at the club?
I think so, yeah. Brings the ball out, superb, and he's when played correctly and not rushed back from injury, etc. He is definitely the best centre back at the club for me. Yeah,
I think he's best playing 2 rather than a 3, which is, I guess he could play in a 3, but I'm just saying he could be better at a 2. And then we'll look at the forgotten man, which is Yoshinori Muto. We'll come to Kelland Watts in a second, but his side were relegated in La Liga. I think he only scored 1 or 2 goals. We are weak up front, don't get me wrong, but he's just on the same level as Paul, or even worse level than Gale and Carroll.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've got to sell him for me, or if anyone will take him, that is, because we struggled to get him out last summer on loan. So yeah, I'd sell him for me, but I don't know if anyone will take him. He obviously hasn't had a good season at a struggling side in Spain, but he didn't do well in the Premier League either, so yeah, sell him for me. Didn't
his president come out and laughed at how much they got him for, but the loan fee was very, very small. Newcastle were desperate just to get him out.
Yeah, they tried to make a mockery out of us, and probably did, to be fair. We because I think our demands were quite high for him, and then we were like, oh no, we don't want to keep him, and there's obviously not interest in him. They were probably surprised that no one wanted him, but who would be? He's never really done anything for us, has he?
And the last one on our list is Kelland Watts, who's had 2.5 seasons out on loan. He's been brilliant wherever he's been. Contender for League One for Plymouth, player of the season, and he's comfortable at League One. Again, similar to Lejeune, he comes back into this where we've got 1 or 2 issues at centre back. What would you do? Would you have, because for me, people are going to be different on this. I would like them have him around the first team, getting experience, coming in for 5 minutes towards the end of the game, starting cup games, just that first team experience, quite similar how Elliot Anderson has. Or would you put him out again on loan, maybe to a higher level?
I think for me, it's all dependent on pre-season. I'd like to see him in pre-season, getting, like you say, in and around the first team. And if he shows promise, keep him around cup games, substitute appearances. Maybe the odd league game. So I'd like to keep him around, yeah. But it's all dependent on pre-season. And if he has a stinker, then he's probably out on loan, if not sold again. But like Bruce with the youngsters, I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening. To be honest, you see what he does with the Longsafts and Elliot Anderson. It's not often promising for them. But I'd like to see him kept and have a go in pre-season.
So out of the 4 players that we've talked about, 3 of them would either want to keep or loan. And one of them, hopefully Yoshinori Muto moves on from the club. But that is it from me and Harry as we swing away. Ta-ra everyone. Bye bye.